Hey folks, it's Stephan here. Welcome back to Stardew Valley Kitchen, where I prepare something inspired by each of the recipes available in the game. For this episode, we're going to be making an omelet, specifically a French omelet, which I'm known for, at least here in this kitchen. In Stardew Valley, you can learn the omelet recipe on the 28th of spring on odd years. Only 2 ingredients are required, an egg and some milk. Of course, with a cost of 6,000 gold for a barn and another 1,500 gold for a cow, you probably won't be enjoying this food in the spring of your first year. I make French omelets most weekends for my fiancee and I. When you think of an omelet, you probably think of something thick, bifolded, and with a bunch of veggies, meat, and or cheese in the pocket. A French omelet is more simple, trifold, and complemented by herbs, especially fresh herbs. I don't have any fresh herbs on hand today, so we're going to make do with some freeze-dried chives, which are a great staple to keep on hand. I've adapted this recipe from a YouTube video by Mythbusters host Adam Savage. I'll put a link in the description. The ingredients are 3 eggs, again I recommend local organic eggs, 1 tablespoon of butter, and then the freeze-dried chives. Break the 3 eggs into a small mixing bowl and whisk, making sure to beat air into the eggs. According to my Hungarian cooking class, this should be violent but not messy. You're going to add the butter to a non-stick skillet over a medium-low heat. That's about 3.5 on my oven. Once the butter is melted, you're going to add the freeze-dried chives. I just put in enough so that it looks like it is integrated throughout the butter. We're going to spread those around in here. And now it's time to put in the egg. Now what we want to do is integrate the butter, the chives, and the egg together. So using the spatula, we're going to do just that. We'll pull through, and as we're doing this, we need to be monitoring the sides to make sure that we're not getting too much cooking going on the sides. And if you've got a hot spot in your element, then you'll need to adjust your skillet accordingly, because you don't want any part of it to cook faster than the other parts. Now, at this temperature, it's going to take quite a while to cook, so you have to be patient. But you also need to be monitoring it. And testing the edges like this is a very easy way to see how it's cooking. Now you'll notice that the chives are spread throughout the egg. If you were going to be using fresh herbs, you wouldn't actually integrate them at this point. You would wait until the omelet was complete and then sprinkle them onto the top of the omelet when serving. Okay, so we can start to see that it's starting to set a little bit in some places on the sides. And once it is really cooking throughout, then the sides will sort of hold on their own. Okay, it's set in the middle now. It's starting to set on the bottom. Determine this by look and feel. It's still much too runny for us to try to flip. If we were to try to flip at this point, a lot of this runny egg would just run out and then it wouldn't work. We need it to be stiff enough so that we can flip it without it leaving the area that it's in. We also want to be mindful of sizzling. If you hear any sizzling at all, that probably means that the egg is too hot and it's starting to burn, or brown at least. Now that's fine, and sometimes it happens. You do want to try to avoid it. Now the flips, the challenge of course is where you flip it. Also, if you had wanted to put cheese in, you should be doing it at this point, where the egg is set and now we're ready for a flip, but you'd only put those cheeses or whatever in the very center, and not very much of it. You don't need a lot. Okay, this is ready to flip, and we're just going to flip it about 1/3 of the way, and you'll notice that it's held together here, but if it does break, you can sort of hold it with the spatula, and it will sort of seal itself. Now that flip is the easier of the two. This flip's a little more challenging, because you're now flipping over this. But it looks like it's already ready to go, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And now we've got a nice flip here, and now for the most challenging part, we need to get the whole thing flipped over. And for that, I'm going to use a bigger spatula. Now you can hear it sizzling right now, but that's okay, we haven't gone too far. So we're going to try to get this under here, and then we're going to just, if I can, flip it over. There we go. 3rd time's a charm. Now we're only going to give it a couple more moments to cook because we want some runniness inside the egg, or softness at least. That's going to be to your preference, of course, but again, you don't want to leave it on there too long. Alright, that's probably good. I'm going to plate this, and I'll be back. I used to struggle with omelets until I watched that Adam Savage video. Now I'm so impressed every time I make an omelet. This is truly wonderful, even without the filling. And if you have fresh herbs, don't mix them into the eggs like I mentioned before. Sprinkle them on top of the completed omelet. Let the egg and the herbs stand on their own, and I think you'll be amazed by the result. Now look at this. Hopefully you can see. That's a lovely, lovely omelet. It's cooked all the way through. Oh, and so good. Well, that's 100 energy and 40 health to me. What a great way to start the day. Let me know in the comments, what's your favorite omelet filling? Thanks so much for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. I'll talk to you next time.